bring in Senator Rob Portman, Republican from Ohio, who has been saying they've been doing this for a long, long time. Okay, Senator, what are you going to do about it?
Well, Stuart, it shouldn't surprise any of us because for 2 decades they've been doing exactly that, not just through hacking, but even prior to the hackers being able to do this. They've been coming to our country and taking our research for military, science, medical purposes. It's helped fuel their economic rise and helped fuel the increase in their military strength. We had a report, as you know, at the end of last year. You had me on talking about it, where we were able to show that through their what they call their 1,000 Talents program, they were targeting professors and scientists here in this country, getting their good stuff. We just had another case of it this week, an Arkansas professor who was arrested by the FBI. He was arrested because, he wasn't telling the truth, but there needs to be tougher laws there. So one thing we're doing is we're putting a new law in place to make it illegal to hide your contacts with the Chinese government. Remember the Harvard professor a couple months ago, same thing. He was getting paid $150,000 in living expenses, 50 grand a month, 1.5 million for a lab in China, and they were taking his research. And the research was paid for by U.S. taxpayers, $150 billion a year. So the accountability needs to be there, but frankly, Stuart, I think it needs to start with us. We need to better protect ourselves, and that's what our legislation will do at every level.
Okay, now if we're going after them for lots of different reasons here, is the ultimate objective to take some money off them? I understand what you're doing with your bill, but a bigger thrust here is it to take their money back? Let's get the money back. Is that where we're going?
Well, the McSally bill, as I understand it, allows for a cause of action in a federal court to be able to sue, and I think that's fine. That's a good thing. Very difficult to enforce those judgments, as you know. So one way to do it, again, tighten up what we're doing here. Our bill does that at every level, from the State Department visas that shouldn't be given to Chinese visitors who are coming here to do us harm, to requiring our universities and colleges to tighten things up, which is what the FBI and DHS said today. Is, with these hackers, you research institutions, universities, you got to tighten things up. Don't be naive.
But isn't there a problem, though, Senator, with if you take that approach, pretty soon a lot of students in American universities from China will be looked at in a negative way as if, hey, you're a bunch of spies. I mean, that is going to happen, isn't it?
Well, there may be some of that, but this is not about the Chinese people or the Chinese students. It's about the Chinese Communist Party. And if they are, in fact, coming to our country and stealing our research, again, the Communist Party is the one in charge of all this, remember, then that has to stop. But it should not be something that we then blame the Chinese people for, or even Chinese students that are coming over here for the purpose of learning and contributing to our economy, because many of them do, as you know. Yep. So it's a balance. We have to be careful about it, but we can't let this continue to go on. I mean, it's outrageous, and it is causing us to fall behind both economically and militarily, because they can effectively leapfrog us by getting our taxpayer-paid research and using it before we do.
What support are you getting from the Democrats for this?
Well, Senator Carper and I are introducing the legislation together. Senator Carper is the ranking member of our investigative subcommittee that spent a year looking at this. We came out with a hard-hitting but very thoughtful report at the end of last year. So we've tried to keep this bipartisan, and it should be, because we want to actually get something done here. And there's no reason that we as Republicans and Democrats shouldn't be able to agree on this issue of protecting research that's paid for by U.S. tax dollars.
Senator Rob Portman, Republican, Ohio, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you, Stuart. Always good to be with you. Take care.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Rob.